Market conditions, the majority bullish. Futures up almost 1% this morning, having some nice follow through from yesterday, back to 14 and 0 on the daily, 14 and 0 on the weekly time frame, and pushing up above or attempting a push today above these most recent highs. That would put the S&P at all-time highs. If we can push up there today, we saw that close out yesterday right at the bottom of that supply block, and now it's pushing towards the upper end of that range. In the futures market, we're seeing a nice move in breadth as well, 10% pushing back from that 63 number we saw yesterday back up to 70. So heading back towards that bullish camp. That pushed it back to majority bullish here on the daily time frame as well. So we may see some follow through and extension and push even these numbers. These breadth numbers can get all the way up into that 85 range. We never did get it on this last move. We'll see if we push higher and if that brings more, if this move brings more participation back into the market. We saw VIX also drop off yesterday back to 18, so we're back under 20. It's hard to see right there, but it's a little yellow blip. So pushing back down to those lows again, which is what we want to see. We want to see this majority bearish for more upside in equities as well. SHY short end of the yield curve continuing to move higher. We're seeing that now majority bullish at 14 and 14 on both the daily and the weekly time frame. So we're seeing the short end of bonds moving higher. That means lower for rates. The 2-year pushing lower. We're seeing that at majority bearish at 11 and majority bearish at 14 on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame. If we squeeze that in a little bit, we looked at this same perspective yesterday and see we're just kind of fading here a little bit, holding around this 350, 360 range, and see if that starts to continue to trend even lower. TLT, we're seeing TLT moving, still majority bearish, still at 10 on the daily, chopping around the lower end of this range, has really yet to find any legs to push any higher. That yield on the 10-year sitting at 434 still has still in the momentum zone, so still a bullish trend intact, majority bullish on the weekly time frame. Lots of compression happening here on the daily, majority bearish on that. You can see that's been testing this 434 range consistently now for 4 or 5 different sessions. We'll see if it can notch down, if it breaks through that and gets down to that 424 range. Equities may like this trend as well. Dow Jones Industrial Average, seeing that price pattern here now at 424, finding support inside of this demand block, majority bullish at 14, and we'll see if we get some fall through on the Dow today. Triple Qs may make an all-time high today if we can push above that. We're seeing at 537 as we speak, and those are getting very close to all-time highs on NASDAQ 100. Keep an eye there. Also seeing a 1.2% slight outperformance on the Russell 2000. That also pushed us to majority bullish. We talked about this yesterday. If we can see these small cap names get some momentum and push higher, that may also contribute to this number here. Not that there are a lot of those kind of stocks in that, but we may just get more participation across the board, across lots of different styles of equity, and the risk on type of equity is Russell 2000, small cap. So we're seeing some nice move there yesterday and some follow through on that today as well. We saw oil just really get clobbered, massive move up, massive back down, move back down. Pre-market down to 73, so continuing that move back to the downside, and interesting volatility. We're seeing a lot of obviously the oil is based around the geopolitical issues happening worldwide, and whether or not that's, or I shouldn't say worldwide, specifically in that region, and that has a lot to do with oil pricing, oil supply and demand locations there as well. But that's having a retracement back down again. Gold, let's take a look here. We're seeing gold retrace, a decent little retracement this morning back to 304, and let me actually grab this trend here as well. I want this low trend. That's taking us all the way back to this low. Still well inside the momentum zone. Potential triple top here, retracement. That's fine. Need some consolidation right here. Still a really bullish trade overall for gold, but in the shorter term, we're just really extended here, both on the weekly and the daily time frame, and could see some volatility, some retracement, or continued consolidation in this sideways pattern for gold. SLV getting some retracement as well. Watching for that pullback to the 236. That's 32 on silver. Let's double check that swing low. We swing low here at 32 on the 236. We also have that sitting at, if I grab this swing low, right around that same number. And also seeing dollar weaken pop back up a little bit here, pulling back into that most recent lows, but still seeing majority bullish on the dollar. A couple stock ideas to consider today, some nice patterns. I've got 19 in the new buy list today. Those are in momentum, confirmation bar, increased volume, and you've got QTWO, which is a nice bar. Last couple of days, increased volume significantly over the trend. You can see this is the average volume for the most part, and moving into this overall uptrend. We're also seeing Tesla into this price pattern as well, pulling into that scan, and we're getting confirmation bar, increased volume, back in momentum on this current trend with Tesla. So the retracement back into that 50% 618 retracement, finding demand here, pushing back up. We've now got a structural shift as well. The structural shift meaning it is closed above some of these most recent highs or any price activity that had pushed it lower. Little work to do still to get up above some of these levels, and also in the longer term you're seeing, Tesla still has this downtrend, but it's shifting and working on this new uptrend, and certainly of note to keep an eye on Tesla if you are keeping an eye on that stock. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.